Hey, what's up? This is Giles, and welcome back to another episode of Urban Arts Magazine's 40 Under 40, where we are recognizing and highlighting some of America and the world's top 40 artists under the age of 40, who are doing amazing things in the arts, theater, dance, music, film, TV, visual arts, literary. Today we have with us a brilliant filmmaker and artist with us. I want you to help me welcome Miss Denise. Denise, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm amazing. Hey, thank you for being here with me today.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are doing just like an amazing job. So I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Thank you. So I'm hearing an accent. Where's that accent from?
Okay, so I was born and raised in Zimbabwe, and I've been in the States for, I think now it's 13 years. So I lived in New York, so New York is home, and I claim Brooklyn. And I've been in LA for about, I think it's 8 years now. So LA is my physical home, but my heart is in New York.
Your heart is so Dallas is my physical home, but Harlem is my heart.
So
sure.
You see, you get it, you understand. Because when I'm in LA, they're like, "Are you from New York?" I'm like, "Yeah." How can you tell?
Exactly. Yeah. So I grew up in Dallas, but my mom hates to hear me say that New York feels like home. Dallas feels like where I grew up.
Yeah, they can't handle it. It's like, home is where you were born. I was like, yeah, I know, but you know.
Yeah, not quite, but I understand. I definitely understand. So you have been taking the industry by storm, doing some amazing international film work, like highlighting international artists, artists of color. Tell me a little bit, how did you get started in that?
So honestly, when I was a kid back in Zimbabwe, my parents always told me that I told them the funniest stories. I had the most creative stories as a kid. And so when I got older, I decided to come to the US because I wanted to get into the film industry. And so the top places are New York and LA. And so I started off with New York because I had a few, family living there. So at least I wasn't alone. So I started off with New York. And so I did my bachelor in communications and TV and film. But I'm African. It was cold. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I moved to LA, just to have more opportunities and some warmth. So that's how I got into it more and more. But because I actually studied it, I studied all the positions on a film crew, and I found my love and my passion for specifically directing. Because there's something when you sit and you talk to someone and they open up and they tell you just the truth. It's just so beautiful and it's so natural.
Right. So do you find yourself doing more documentaries than scripted work?
Yes, I'm known for my unscripted work. So documentaries are my baby. So you'll catch me doing more documentaries than anything else.
Right. So you have this amazing documentary where you went back home to Zimbabwe, and your family really, like, they were very raw and real, and like the changes that you've made since you've left. How was getting your family to really open up and have that real conversation with you on camera?
Honestly, it was very tough. Trying to wrangle them was not easy. My dad didn't want to be on camera without my mom. So we had to wait for my mom to come so that he could go on camera. But it was nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie, because it was a self-discovery documentary. When I'm in the States, I'm not Black enough. But then when I'm in Zimbabwe, I'm not African enough. So that's why I made the documentary, because I felt that I was in constant limbo. There was nothing I could do to fit in. And so a lot of people were feeling the exact same thing. And I wanted to show Zimbabwe through my eyes. So I showed them the rural area and I showed them the urban area to show you that Africa has everything, the same thing as the US, the same thing as the UK. There's just good places and there's bad places, but people always focus on the bad. So it was tough. It was scary, but that's the point of making films, making yourself vulnerable and opening yourself up to everyone else so that they can see what you've been through.
Yeah. So recently, I was in South Africa later part of last year, and I've been to Kenya and as well as Ghana. And so many people ask me like the craziest questions of like what my experiences are. Like were there a lion outside your hotel? Like, no, that doesn't happen. I mean, when I stayed on the reserve, yes, but that's because I decided to stay on the reserve. But I mean, but to bring that culture to America, do you feel because you are Zimbabwean, is that correct?
Yes, Zimbabwean, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
because you, I'm glad I'm right. Because you're a Zimbabwean, that you have an obligation or a duty to tell those stories?
The answer is yes. I feel like it's an obligation, but I don't use the word, that kind of word. I just feel like it's
Hmm.
my right and it's my duty because
I
our
love that.
ancestors went through so much. And first of all, no one knows where Zimbabwe is. I have to say it's next to South Africa. They're like, oh, yes. I was like, it's right next to South Africa. We border the same. So no one knows where it
Right.
is. So I just want to put it on the map. You know, I'm in the entertainment industry, and what more, like, what is a better place to show people a place visually? So I just feel that if I can incorporate anything to do with Zimbabwe in any of my films, then yeah, of course I'll do it.
I love it. So, what challenges or what opportunities do you find as a female artist of color, working in a very white male dominated industry?
Honestly, it's very tough being a woman and a woman of color in the industry just because you're just not respected. That's it. I will just get right to it. You're not respected. Every time I tell people that I'm in the film industry, they always assume I'm an actress. And there's nothing wrong with that. Actresses are amazing, but they just can't fathom that you're in a different position. Everyone's so focused on being on camera when there's so many opportunities behind camera. And so it just becomes really tough because they don't take me seriously or I don't get opportunities because it's mostly men. There are not a lot of
Right.
women directors. I can just name Ava. I can what's her name? It's Isa. There are very few. It's on
Mhm.
my hand, the people that I can actually name. And Ava is only a couple of years. Before Ava, who did we have? But we
Right.
have John Singleton, we have Spike Lee. For guys, we have, but think about the women, we really don't have that many. And specifically for documentaries, it's getting less and less, to be honest. So that's my struggle, is that more are known for scripted, but I focus on unscripted. So that area is just really small. And I just want to have, more women by my side doing it.
Right. So, what do you think needs to happen in the industry in order to have more women be in those positions of power? Because the director literally holds the power of the film.
Oh yeah. So what has been working for me, honestly, is I've joined so many groups. I'm in women's group, people of color groups, and because of all these groups, we come together and we put each other at an advantage. So in these groups, they're constantly posting, "Hey, I work at Netflix, and they're looking for this person, so please submit." So it's specifically for either women or people of color. And so when you create those groups, you create a little leverage that they don't have because not a lot of people have access to some of the job posts that other people have. And so I feel like that's definitely a step up. And they're very strict about it. They're like, don't send it to anyone else, just keep it within your crew. And I've worked on projects where someone says, "Hey, I worked with you. Can you join me on the next one?" So just being there to
Right.
just assist people to get to the next level. Just having that community, having that tribe, honestly, has been very helpful for me.
Yeah. So I used to teach theater years ago, and I still do at this point, also in a different way. But I would tell my students that to definitely stay in the way and stay present wherever. If you are sweeping the floors or if you're the lead star, you should treat everybody with the
Yes.
same level of commitment and the same respect. And it's really about building that community because this industry is so about word of mouth, and there are projects that are
100%.
that
Yeah.
yeah, there's projects that definitely get cast and get crewed, and not nobody submits for it because it's all about who I know and who I know I can work with.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and
So
and that's
okay.
yeah, and that's the thing, that in this industry, which is very interesting, the film industry is actually very small. When you start,
Mhm.
it seems big, but when you've been in it for a while, it's the same people, it's the same casting directors, it's the same
Mhm.
directors, it's the same actors. And so the only way you can actually have an opportunity is if you have a seat at the table. And that's
Right.
why it's good to just have, like you said, a good community and just be personable and make sure you're making connections with the right people, because that way you can actually get into the room. So that's big. It's always word of mouth. I was telling people that I have a master's and I've only been asked 3 times in my whole life, 3 times, to actually show them my degree. No one has ever asked for my
Wow.
degree. Yeah. So it's always word of mouth. "Oh, hey, I know Denise. Oh, she's great. Okay, cool. Let's set
Hmm.
it up." And then that's how it happens.
Hmm.
I'm not saying I didn't put in
Right.
hard work, but it's
Yeah.
mostly word of mouth. People want to work with someone that they referred. And so that's why you have to make sure you do a good job on set and just make sure you have a good reputation.
It's very true, very true. And those are great words of wisdom to those who want to get in this industry, is that you have to always make sure that you are the best of the best and that you shine the brightest, as bright as you possibly can shine, of course.
Yeah.
Um, so tell me about your favorite project that you worked on.
Oh, okay. So my favorite project that I worked on is actually a documentary that I released at the end of the year, and it's called Unconventional. It's for creators and artists in LA and just their struggle to follow their dreams, their everyday struggle. Because people are always showing success, but no one shows you the grind that everyone had to go through. So I had dancers, singers, actors, just people from, just different lifestyles. And I just talked to them, and I wanted to give advice to other people who are trying to follow their dreams, because I'm constantly being asked, hey, how do I get to the States? How do I make it here? How do I make it there? So I just wanted someone to watch it and to be inspired that no matter who you are and where you're from, you can follow your dreams. And it was just so powerful. It actually won an award for the most inspirational documentary, because I just made sure I got a group of people that were just very open and very honest, and just showed
Mhm.
that no matter what, you can achieve anything. Because some people had just started, some people were intermediate, and some people had excelled. So I just wanted to show people that there's different levels and different stages when it comes to success.
Right, right. And so, can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, where can we find that?
Okay,
Unconventional. Where
so
can we
right
find it?
now they're actually shopping it around. So it doesn't have a home yet,
Okay.
but it's been
Okay.
screening in festivals and just doing very, very good. So I'm really excited. But
Gotcha.
once it has a home, I'll let you know.
Okay, please do that. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then also like fundraising and like getting capital, and then like how did you go about doing that? Was it people that you already knew? Was it funded, self-funded out of your pocket?
So what I've done is, honestly, I fund all my projects myself, because I'm tired of having to ask people for help. I'm okay with asking for help when I know I need help, but this thing of, oh, I have to wait till it's like 10,000. I'm very good at stretching money. I will make it happen. So I've done crowdfunding before. Crowdfunding is great. It's a good way of doing it. But I've worked enough where I've also put savings aside, where, I can live a comfortable life, but also put it towards that. And how I save money as well is that I stretch out the filming for a longer period of time. So when I get help, it can take me, like that documentary took me a year and a half to make, because I was
Oh wow.
recording and interviewing at different times, different people, and I just took my time. So when I do it that way, it's not a straight 25, 30 days back to back. So then I
Yeah.
just found ways to just manage my money better so that it could, make it in the long run. So then that's how I've done
Right.
it. But I've applied to grants. There's so many fellowships. There's so many places that you can get assistance from. So a little bit here and a little bit there. So that's why I'm in these groups. Honestly, the groups are always posting, hey, there's this opportunity, finishing funds. So there's so
Oh
many ways
wow.
where you can get help for different things. So it just depends on how you network.
Right. That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing that for sure. Can you talk to me, or sorry, talk to us about a time that maybe didn't go as well? Like what was the time there was a struggle or a challenge?
So, being a independent filmmaker is a constant struggle. So,
Right.
picking a struggle is hard, but the main struggle
Mhm.
is that we're always comparing ourselves. Someone's comparing their day one to someone's day 1,000. So the struggle is
Mhm.
to just not listen to what other people are saying and to believe in yourself, because a lot of people shoot it, but it never makes it to anything because they
Yeah.
give up. They're just frustrated. Okay, I can't find an editor, or they find an editor and they don't like them, and like, okay, I'm done, and it just dies in post. So
Yeah.
my thing would just be to keep going, believing in yourself. And even if there's setbacks, some people have lost footage. Some people, there was no sound recorded. There's some horror stories. So I would say, honestly, it's just, everyone has their bad days, but you have bad
Yeah.
days, but you pick yourself up and you keep going.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Um, so we all know that COVID was a beast and still is. Um, but I know some people, all throughout the pandemic and throughout the woes, that some people, really did well in the pandemic and some people really suffered. So how did COVID affect you, if at all?
Honestly, COVID affected everyone horribly. And I know this might not sound like something you expect me to say. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. It just
Yeah.
showed me that I needed to slow down, take time for myself, and I was the most productive during COVID. It allowed me to get the editor to work on the projects. I revamped myself. It just gave me time to really focus because I'm so busy sometimes. I don't have time to sit down and really focus. I'm always having my hand in different things. So with COVID, I just did everything. I put one of my films on Amazon. So I have a film on Amazon, did it
Wow.
during the pandemic. And then I
Wow.
completed my other documentary during the pandemic and then shot another documentary while still doing some other things on the side. So I was booked. I was booked, not gonna lie. I was booked and busy.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Booked and busy. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Also, you have a relationship documentary.
So
Do a documentary about
it's
relationships.
actually it's a talk show. It's called Cultural
Oh, talk show.
Exchange. Yeah.
Okay.
So Cultural Exchange is a debate talk show where I have people from all over the world just coming together and talking about relationships, dating, and just what it's like being into interracial relationships, dating different, cultures, different religions, just different people.
Right.
With our community, everything is changing, and so I just feel that people don't have the opportunity to actually sit down and talk about a lot of things. And so I wanted everyone to just sit and talk and explain their relationships because I've been in interracial relationships and there's so many things that no one discusses. I wish someone had just told someone something. And so that's what the show is about, just talking about, different things, different cultures. Because even though I am Black, sometimes I might have issues because, like I said, African Americans might not relate with me because I'm from another country. But if you say that to
Right.
someone like, but you're Black and they're Black, so there shouldn't be any
Right.
difference. Exactly. So I wanted to
Yeah.
just open that communication between different people and different cultures.
So do you think so how have the conversations been? Have people been open to have those conversations and receptive to the feedback?
People have been very receptive to the talk show, honestly, because they're just so excited there's a platform where everyone can actually sit and communicate. And I'm international. A lot of my friends are international. And so for us, it wasn't really that difficult. But I think it was for those people who haven't had that opportunity because we actually had a forensic psychologist who came in. So she's
Wow.
Russian, but she grew up in Zimbabwe and her daughter is in America. So I actually had her on an episode on one of the shows, and she
Hmm.
explained the science as to why people cheat, and just having that professional, you know, breakdown really changed everything. So even though it's a
Yeah.
debate show, I'd still bring in some professionals to help us understand why things happen the way they happen. So that was a great season.
Yeah. So where can we find this show?
Okay, so Cultural Exchange is actually on YouTube. It's on Nandi Productions. That's my production company. So if you go on YouTube or if you go on my website, which is Denise Khumalo, then you can find Cultural Exchange.
Got it. Cultural Exchange. So make sure you go and check it out on YouTube and on her website. So Denise, what's next for you and your production company?
Oh, so what is next is last year was a good year for me, and I just want my company to be big and better. My production company, I hire immigrants and I hire people of
Oh,
color because I know what it's like when you get here, you're on a visa and you're looking for sponsorship, and no one wants to hire you because they don't want to deal
right.
with the paperwork. And so that is
Right.
my goal, to continue to hire people so that, I can help them get some money and also build a bigger crew and just to have a stable crew. So that's my goal, and then to make more films. And this year, I'm actually tapping into the scripted world. I've done scripted before, but like I said, I love documentaries. But I have to, I watched Insecure season 5, so I was like, okay, let's go back to scripted. Let's do something. So it
Yeah.
inspired me to just,
Yeah.
switch it up.
Yeah. And I love that you go back to your roots and really look for those immigrants and those people of color to hire, because so many times we sit at these tables and we're the only one of
Yeah.
two or three. So to be able to build, like, I worked on a crew that was all Black and I was like, oh my God, it's all Black people. I love this.
Yeah, that it felt strange, right? And it shouldn't be
Yeah.
strange. When I'm always the only Black person, and then when I see, I'm like, hello, hi. But I did work on a crew when it was a lot of Black people, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel in this moment. But I was
Right.
happy. Obviously, I was happy. But we shouldn't be happy to see ourselves once in a blue moon. So we need to work towards it. But my goal is, honestly, I just want to help and just pay forward to those people who were in my position a couple of years ago, because I know it's not easy. Trust me, just immigration alone is so difficult. Then trying to deal
Mhm.
with the job industry, it's too much. It's a lot, because you're trying to look for a job, but if you only have a certain amount of time of visa, then how are you supposed to stay in the country? That's why a lot of my friends have
Right.
gone back home. I would say honestly,
Wow.
90% of my friends have gone back to their countries because of immigration issues. And so that's what I'm saying. If I can help in any way, I'm always there for them.
Mhm. So, can you talk to the young filmmaker who wants to leave their home, no matter where it is around the world, and go to LA and really like dive headfirst into the filmmaking world? What advice would you give them at this point?
Well, my advice is I left when I was 18, and it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it, because God only gives his strongest warriors the hardest tasks. And
Wow.
so once you adjust to being in a different country, the opportunities are going to be worthwhile. They're not going to be easy. Because, for example, in Zimbabwe, they were only two TV stations. Two TV. I don't know if it's still that way now. Only two
Mhm.
TV stations. And I get to the US, so many stations, so many opportunities. And so there's no point in staying in a place that is not serving, that is not giving you the
Mm.
opportunities for a better life. And so as long as you work hard, connect with the right people. And people was like, how do I know? Your intentions will show. You will meet those people, you surround yourself with those people, and you will grow. And eventually you'll get to a place where you are now at the top and you can help others. So I just wish
Right.
people told everyone how hard it is to transition to just a new country, new language, new people. It's very, very difficult because you're leaving your family behind, but the rewards are so big. You just honestly, you have to believe in yourself and manifest it. I know some people don't believe in it, but if you really believe in yourself, pull a Kanye. It's like, it's only me, no one else. I can do. You
Right,
need to be
right,
like Kanye,
right.
believe in yourself, okay?
For sure. That's funny. Do you think you'll ever go back to Zimbabwe and establish the third TV station or the
Oh
third, do you
yes.
think?
I would definitely go back. Yeah, I would definitely go back. The only reason why I haven't gone back in the last few years is just because of everything that's been happening with immigration
Mhm.
and the travel ban and then the pandemic. That is the only reason.
Right.
Otherwise, I travel back and forth from home all the time. So, but they've
Mhm.
really stepped it up right now. And that's the thing. You did ask me, what are your future plans? My future plans are to go back to Zimbabwe, either open up a production company there or start a
Mhm.
school or just something to help other filmmakers on that side, because they've really, really done very well. Because when I left, there was barely a film industry. Now it is
Wow.
thriving. It's doing so well.
Yeah, all of the continent is doing well. Like I see so many African films on like Netflix, on Amazon,
Yeah.
on planes. It's huge, huge
Yeah.
business on the continent.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm so
awesome.
happy. On Netflix, who thought Netflix would have all these African movies? It's
Right.
amazing. And that's why I'm saying our time is now. Let's do it. Let's fight for each other and let's support each other. That's the only other thing I would say, is that for us people as color, let's just come together. We're not each other's
Yeah.
enemies. And that's another thing. Some people are like, oh, there's one black person, we can't have two black people. Why not? Why
Mm,
can't we? So let's
yeah.
support each other. I actually was working on a project because one of my black friends was said to me, hey, I would like to have another black person on it. So, she actually helped me and set up the interview, and I got the job through her. So if you have
That's
people like
awesome.
that on your side, on your
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
that's how you get forward. That's how it works. You just have to support each
Right.
other. But some people are not trusting, and some people have that mentality of,
Mhm.
I have to like work on myself, focus on myself
Yeah.
and no one else.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work, because yes, you're putting yourself forward, but you're holding your other people back, and we're supposed to be a
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. So when we go through the door, we should leave it open and pull the next person through.
Yes, just leave it
Definitely.
open for others, because your ancestors just
Yeah.
went through too much for us to fight,
Right.
with each other. It's just no.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it to me. I just want to spread love. I want to spread happiness, and there's just so many bad things that are going on right now. So let's just use love and not hate. That's all. It's just easier to smile and easier to help. Just leaving the door open. It takes more energy to
Right.
lock it, do all this
Right.
stuff. Just leave it open.
Exactly.
It'll be nice. A
Leave it
nice little breeze
open.
will come in. So
Right. And we all can sit at the table. There's no use in closing the door because I'm afraid someone's going to take my seat. No, there's enough seats at the table for
exactly.
sure.
100%.
Yeah. So, how can we follow Denise? How can we follow? I want to pronounce your last name correct. Khumalo.
Yeah, Khumalo, yes. So you
Khumalo. Oh, that's
mentioned
right,
you're
Denise.
from, you went to South Africa. So my last name
Yes.
Khumalo is actually South African. I'm from the Zulu tribe. And
Hmm.
so it's a very popular name. So I want to answer your question. You can find me on my website, which is denisekhumalo.com. But on Instagram, in my country, you put MA in front of a woman's last name. So it's Makhumalo. And so my Instagram is Maku because it's short for Makhumalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? Makul.
So Makhu.
Okay, gotcha. Makul.
Yeah.
Makul.
So
Makhu. I love.
Instagram is at Maku, Makhu, and then my website is Denise Khumalo. And then
And
to
then
watch
what's
Cultural Exchange, it's
yeah.
on YouTube and it's Nandi Productions. And Nandi means good, it means nice. It's like a cool slang word. And Nandi is
Okay.
Mnandi, Nandi
Okay.
Productions. And that's on YouTube.
Got it. Got it. So yeah, so make sure you follow Denise and everything that she's doing. I'm definitely that's gonna be my new treadmill show. It's gonna be
Yay!
it's gonna be cultural exchange for sure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play a quick game called This or That.
Okay.
So what I always do is I give our guests two words, two phrases, two ideas, and then they choose this one or that one, and then we talk about why.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go. Films, comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Why?
I like to laugh.
Okay. That works. Do you prefer a big party or intimate gathering?
Big. I'm African. I like things big.
Okay. New York pizza or LA tacos?
New York pizza. Listen, nothing's better than that.
I don't like pizza, but New York is the only place where I will eat pizza. That's the
As long as
funny
it's from New
thing.
York, I'm eating in LA. Listen, New York food is better. I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm sorry.
I agree. Cake or ice cream?
Oh, I'm gonna go with ice cream. It's a tough one because I do like cake, but ice cream trumps cake.
Okay. And then our last one. Would you rather stay up late or wake up early?
I am a night owl. I do not do mornings. I am not a morning person at all. Trust me, I am not nice in the morning. So you don't want that.
So you want to stay up late?
I will stay up till 5 a.m. and wake up at 9. I will do that. I'm just not waking up early. I don't know. I can't do it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was fun. That was easy. This or that.
Yeah.
We got to learn a lot about Denise. She does not like to
I know
wake
you're
up
gonna get me in
early.
trouble. Everyone's gonna be like, "No, LA. LA has good food, but New York has oxtail." Like what?
Yeah, I feel like everything in LA is healthy. Even like the fast food is healthy. I'm like,
Everything is healthy, which is okay, but I want variety. I want to go to a bodega,
yeah,
just get a sandwich, a nice
get a
little
chopped
sandwich,
cheese. Yep.
bagels. I don't know. It's just New York just has more seasoning. That's how I'll say it. It just has more seasoning.
Yeah, get the coffee light and sweet. That was my big thing. Light and sweet coffee from the bodega. Oh my gosh, memories.
You know.
Exactly. Well, Denise, thank you for talking to us. Congrats on being one of our 40 under 40. We're super excited to feature you and celebrate you. Yeah, for sure. So everybody, make sure that you go check out Denise. Make sure you please follow Denise. Make sure you like and share this podcast as well. And who knows, maybe you'll be cast in Denise's next big movie. Hey. Make sure you check back up with us for our next feature coming up. Have a good